You are watching
Good morning, viewers, and welcome to another edition of the Breakfast Show, where they come to you live from Liberty Online TV, with a stream on Facebook, YouTube, and also on our website, where they powered by Orange Sierra Leone. We will bring the program come to you this Tuesday morning. Mina Khadija Bangura.
And Mina Mabel Kaba, good morning. Inside this edition of the Tuesday Liberty Breakfast Show, today we can talk to the National Revenue Authority. Also, we can discuss issues that we get to do with revenue growth, how they do collaboration with stakeholders them, and also how they ensure so they use innovation for make people and know more about ways to make them for pay tax them. And that's what we discussed this morning at the program.
Well, this and plenty other issues them, they in this edition of the Breakfast Show for you. You say for the watch we and you get question, comment on any of the issues they will they discuss. Send we on the number 074 200 545 074 200 545. Now the number we for send you message and we go read them later on inside the program. And also, in case you get question or clarification about anything we want to know about NRA, this morning at the opportunity for let you send we question at the comment section. Now any of the platform there we do watch we as you hear from Mabel earlier today, they can look at revenue growth, innovation, and stakeholders engagement, how NRA continue for engage their stakeholder them for ensure state and generate revenue for the state, as we all know say through revenue mobilization government can use for spend on different development projects them within they do. Well, at the studio this morning we get the pleasure for host for the very first time the Commissioner General for the National Revenue Authority with Jeneba Bangura. Good morning and welcome to the Liberty Breakfast Show.
Good morning, from them. Glad for the as you mentioned at the first time, this at Welcome Liberty, and it's a pleasure.
All right, that's na Jeneba Bangura, in the Commissioner General for the National Revenue Authority. Today with we this morning for can talk about revenue growth and waiting here in team. Now the National Revenue Authority for done they do for ensure say they meet the targets where government can set for them every year for generate revenue for run the state.
Alright, so we continue with the breakfast show, but let me first quickly go to the east end of Freetongue. Also, we see over the weekend na Rescos Road na Upgun. Fire been catch well over 25 shop them. Well, for we know exactly what's be happen with him bingo wakadile we watch as David Yankee CC go reports.
The plenty fire accidents way done the happen on Freetongue this BNTM. Don't make plenty people don't the question say waiting really can cause the plenty fire accidents na Freetongue. But March 10 this year, heavy fire been catch na the West Coast community, Upgun na the eastern part na Freetongue. Na one scrap yard we get over 25 shop them, we contain motorcar spare parts them and other property them. But Liberty Online Television be go work na this community for talks of people we get affected and other development partners for make them tell we what's the cause of this fire.
Yeah, me one party post in the week we get shop here, and as you see now the side is where we get. Yesterday, 12:36, we get a call for say some about the way they apprentices about the week where they pack them with car and we get the one we take one lady who can't lead all the time, but due to not meet up and price, so then they smoke. I think the arguments will be there on. So anybody working for take the cigarettes, send them. you don't watch. So not knowing the cigarette don't come inside. And yeah, we deal with fuel, diesel, whatever thing, because our engine spare parts we deal with. So as I said, the team blaze. And get for 1 away, the woman self 1 away, we no book catch them all. So everything born, even the motor self way, them be all born.
Actually, yesterday around 12:36, where this fire incident happened, we, like, as you can see, the container where them park over under. One of the apprentices go out and go take a prostitute, as called as a girl, who can get a sexual with them. But I think say they don't talk, they don't meet up. But the boy him really smoke a cigarette. But who say he send cigarettes, go for down, but a bag will contain something like fuel instruments thing. So the fire blaze up. And we start map so now me brother in shop, my sister in shop, a man and shop man this we burn down. So the boy in the same name school oh no sabia. No sabia. So we try follow them out the fire, but never mind. All the youth money around the community, we all try. Say for even call fire force. But the fire force will come with impact robots and not do that well. It's like say the fire you outside the pump, the back chair. Me with my person, I even pull me close. We're about 200,000. Follow both side the mouth for you go pump. But the water tight, you know able. And we appeal to the government say them focus on the fire force side. The fire force team they need more pressure.
Yeah, yesterday the fire start 12:30. We don't come on na filler since 9:20. Then we come, we sit down around the side. We saw we can sit down our buffer. We dey keep coming until 12:30 where we can notice say fire don't catch. We say we dey do business. When at the first side, we say the talk starts for burn. When at they we detect this fire, and we detect the fire. I gather some of me brothers them and me. One day we dey with me follow we can hot the fire. And I count 5 rubber water where we start with for hot this fire. Where the fire not be done big it. Then we dey turn water at the fire for hot them 5 rubber that they all will get the water left we. And I see the community right round side for get water can hot easy. The process now will take for the go take water and come the fire or extend. We start for call fire force in 12:35. We call on fire force 12:35 till sharp 2 o'clock. Then they can respond to it. By the time the fire force they come, everything we don't go into damage and painful sorrow things. And this thing will happen. We not happy, we not expect them, we not glad, and we not wish that an incident, fire incident, and happen.
After we and be talk to them people here, and be say must talk to the councillor na this community, and at this in be get for say.
Yesterday I been part of the response team. When I did say if I get an injury, same way as well. Try for salvage the situation, but it not be really easy because the place now they use engine and then so fuel, oil, it's like more pressure for the fire. It's not really add the fire, but we fortunate. The ambulance then become to time where they're able to control the fire. As you can see, most of them are use engine them. Just like I say, them youth man there, now them use engine that they go and buy and kind of maintenance them. And I can assure you say no parts no dey per motorcar, but vehicle business. Where you go come from there, where you not go get. So that alone first that affects myself and that affects you, that affects everybody. Because some motorcar and parts them for like get are not easy. But trust me, if you carry, you must get you motorcar and parts where you get. So now millions of loans and them youth man that they don't lose.
For nobody response when National Disaster Management Agency NDMA don't do for sake of the fire accident na the West Coast community. Sineman Sare, na the Director of Relief and Response, been explained.
Yes, between the hours of 1 to 2 this morning, 12:12, yes, we get alerts from people and they alert the National Disaster Management Agency say fire don't break out in our West Coast. The area we then call scrap metal yard Outside they sell them, then scrap metal. Then say fire break out. So immediately we go into action. We try for reach out the National Fire Force because now the agency way, institution way get mandate for put out fire. Then come, then try together with the people in the community. After several hours, they'll be able to put out this fire. So this fire, even as I grant this interview at this time, 12 midday or getting to 12 midday, you see they see some smoke will come up, but everybody put hands together for put out the fire. The fire, as I said, have been very serious outbreak. It destroyed plenty property. Outside the young man there in this community, they get their livelihood, the property then destroyed, then source of income damaged, and we don't do assessments. In fact, the one thing I have not been telling ourselves, apart from the item that we burn now, we get trailers that we burn outside, we get other motorcars that back we burn outside. Everything go, then lost everything, but now a total of 26 people that own the shop. They apart from that number, they Boku young man that they drag na that shop, they threw them 26 people in. So the population were really impacted is over 500 from waiting and tell we. And then say the fire, so no waiting cause the fire, so they tell we say na lights, so they tell we say then just can and see fire. Other people that they tell we say na somebody be they play with fire, is send them, then we get the explosion. So we get different sources where they come say na cause this fire. But we don't able to do assessments, we don't able to cancel the people them because this is just the right thing to do. From disaster management, now they manage disaster, the disaster don't be now, we they manage the incidents now, try to get this detail or put together, we will get back to them. But we don't get the information we need to get, and we don't get the real figure of people and we affected. As I say at 26, we don't get any cause for doubt now saying that the wrong people and Giri, as it can be in other cases that are the wrong names then. But this we do together with the community leadership, go through them community there, and we'll be able to get the list of people that are affected by this fire.
Sinem Mansare end up say them go ensure say they engage with government and other development partners for make them go able help the one them we get affected by the fire accident. For Liberty Online Television, me na David Yankee Sise the report.
All right, we continue with the breakfast show where they come to you live from Liberty Online TV. And earlier, we don't introduce with studio guest this morning. We na the Commissioner General for the National Revenue Authority, Jeneba Bangura. We there with the studio this morning for can talk about how in team na the National Revenue Authority don't they work together one for ensure they then get a revenue for government and safe don't they embark on stakeholders and engagement, some innovation, and plenty other things they waited on they do na the National Revenue Authority. We they kind of on a studio and we go start with you, Madam Bangura, from 2003. So you come out from the Ministry of Finance and come back na the National Revenue Authority with a target for generating revenue for government for the day-to-day running of the states. Just take viewers them back to where you come out Ministry of Finance and can take up again the role of the National Revenue Authority as the Commissioner General.
From with them, I want to say morning again, and I'm glad for their, make I just take from with them back because I'm first time this for CAM and Liberty. Before I go finance as Deputy Minister of Finance 1, me have been the Deputy Commissioner General for the National Revenue Authority from 2018, and during that time they me been lead all the reforms them where NRA be embark on, and we've been get a lot really go on. We've been get within the happen Asikuda, Usai we migrate and move with system from Asikuda plus to World, where we make them web based, and then the Domestic Tax Department. Usai majority of we reforms them they Usai we go from the different systems them we been get for file tax, register taxpayers them, and we move all of that, we automate them, we move them to ITAS. We now for register, for file and pay, all of that we automate. We don't automate. And then we also automate the way we would handle with GST. Prior to the machines them way they use now paper businesses that they use for fill out, we then can sell goods and services. We been get the receipts them, the GST receipts. Then we automate them, whereby we get the ECR machines them now since 2019, 2020. And then we get many other reforms them where we've been due, where I have been the Deputy Commissioner General. And then in 2023, as you mentioned, moved from Deputy Commissioner General NRA, I go Deputy Minister Finance 1 for about 4 months. And during that time, they do a lot for support the Minister of Finance, Mr. Sheku Fantamadi, Bangura, went through the budget process, which would have been a very interesting process, and then other policies them where I help support for put in place before I come back to the NRA as the Commissioner General towards the end of 2023. And I want to make Pambuden know, say 2023 not been so bad because we've been get some of the reforms then we were able to implement. Many others were not able to implement because of so many other reasons. But 2023, we end on a very sound footing. The targets, we meet the targets about 96%. For 2023, and then 2024, we in a young year than they were begin. It been a little bit bumpy because what been coming, you know, my predecessor, there was a lot of noise, a lot of confusion. You know, the taxpayers are not being glady, we international community partners them not being glady, even the staff of them are not being glady. So we're coming into a situation where it been a little bit turbulent. But I able to work with the board and I able to work with the other staff them. We stabilize the institution. We able to continue for implement the reforms them where have been left in 2023. We were not able to implement. For example, the tax stamp, we able to implement them immediately where I come. The fuel marking, you know, I able to implement that as well. And I able to implement the automation of the way we they pay income tax and other taxes them, SLRSA, where you go register either your vehicle or your motorbike. So we will do all of that in the first quarter of 2024. And then so many other things that we will do, whether on a stakeholder engagement, bring confidence back to the taxpayer, bring confidence back to other stakeholders, then we will work with the international community, make sure, say, staff welfare come back on the table for we staff them. And then 2024, we end up on a very good note. The percentage we will meet for the targets will be 99.1%. We are almost there. But then from them, I want to make una know, say, even during that year, we change a board. You know, we get a new board mid-year, and all of that take a, you know, was a learning process, a learning curve. But at the end of the day, we able to end 2024 on a very sound footing, whereby in December alone, we surpassed we target by 10%, which was outstanding, and we're able we end the year on a good footing.
Ending 2024 on a good footing, like you say, we know say like you begin for explain coming into 2024 when at that time the official you go so you begin count your year again as Commissioner General na NRA. How you go describe corporation, because people not can like for pay tax and government largely depend on NRA for generate revenue within the use. How you go describe corporation in terms of tax and when they collect?
Yes, so just like what you mentioned, you know, I mean, I can say in life there are two things that are certain: taxes and death. And nobody no want pay tax, you know, but tax is important because we they rely on tax, just like what you don't mention. Government they rely on tax for make sure say all the service system, whether on a road, whether on a school, whether on electricity, for provide electricity, governments need the revenue. So the corporation, you know, we they rely mostly on taxpayer education, which now something we're not so it's a process. And what thing we do in 2024, we don't continue in 2025, is with a tailor with taxpayer education to the tax type and the tax group. We get the large taxpayers them, and them we don't spend that much time with them because they are large, and then get consultants them what they work with. We also get the medium taxpayers them, where they're a little bit challenging because they not get the resources for higher consultants them. We go help make things easier for them when it comes to tax compliance. And then we get with small and micro taxpayers them where boku of we women them where they do business na day and day. So then we they pay special attention to them. So what thing we they do, we they combine taxpayer education, we they also make the system seamless. So we go make compliance cost a little bit simple for them. So we they use different methods them for make sure say they comply, and then we make them easier for them to comply and pay taxes.
One thing we don't be challenging for the National Revenue Authority over the years, even before you come as Commissioner General, now they all get for do with the Finance Act, where owner and the Ministry of Finance can work together for put year in year out. So don't hear people in the grumble say every year Finance Act increase the day on prices of local commodity, especially goods that then they import kind of the country. We don't be a crisis for business people then. What in exactly una can do na the Finance Act? Because many a time when you talk to the Ministry of Finance, they can say we not increase anything, not just the same measures they will put, not just a carry forward.
So, and you're very right. Over time, every year we get a new Finance Act, and that new Finance Act, most times in the past, they bring either new taxes or they increase the existing taxes. So within the government and Ministry of Finance and NRA and we international partners then see and implement, because now that's other people that they do in other countries them. We put together a document what we call the MTRS, which now the medium-term revenue strategy. And basically, and that documents, they will be they put them together. We not do them in a silo. We make sure say we bring the business people and business communities them also on the table, including in addition to the international partners them, for make we look at the tax and revenue generation in the long term and make them more predictable. So it's a 5-year document. Where for make them even more fixed, we've been get for current go to Parliament. So Parliament get for make sure say then ratify them. So it not go change like the it not go change like the tax like the what do you call it? The Finance Act. So we get the medium-term revenue strategy. We're now a 5-year document where everything where we they do for the next 5 years where it comes to taxation is in that document. That is the reason why in 2025 we not get new tax. In 2024 we've been getting a tax, and that tax that we've been getting now a reinstallation of the 5% income import duty on rice. And in 2025 that amount for don't go up to 10%. But we see them right because we want to make sure say the reinstauration of the 5% in 2024. We want to make sure say a whole water, and if we see the impact where it gets on the business people then. So that for that Ministry of Finance, and we decide say in 2025 we not get any new tax. Instead, what we they do all the reforms and what we don't put in place in 2024 and prior, we they make them sustainable and make sure say the compliance level becomes instilled. So for 2025, we not raise any tax.
Inside the gap, Kindi, if NRA no increase any tax for 2025, why this huge outcry from the traders?
Yeah. So what's happen we start the year a little bit bumpy for revenue generation because from with them, I just want for make una know say we target for 2025 now 30% of what we bring come in 2024. And mind you, we not get new taxes. So now what we need for do now for close all the loopholes them and all the leakages them where we don't identify at the beginning of the year. So what we do in January, all the operations, whether not customs, whether not domestic tax, whether not NTR. So we don't identify all different leakages them, and we don't put corrective measures in place for make sure say we block them and minimize the abuse we don't happen over time.
So now that make you do some changes within the administration?
What do you mean by that?
Change certain commissioners, then put them different places?
No, that they not get anything for due with 2025. All the changes that we happen, they happen in 2024.
Okay.
So, and in 2025, because we not getting new taxes in the Finance Act, they use the corrective measures them for top up. Because mind you, we get 30% for catch up from the previous year. So what we do for the start of the year, we identify these leakages, and the changes that we happen, it had nothing to do with the leakages. You know, so what we don't do, like for example, in customs, we realize, say, the business people, them, the way we they do the valuation at customs, we get a private company, ITS, where all the containers and they come, and they scan them, and they value them based on the invoices them, where the taxpayers or the importers and they give them. So once they don't value them, then they provide a document we call CVC. And on that CVC, they give we the customs people, them NRA, then we say, based on your assessment and based on what we don't see, this is not the cost of the container. That documentation supposed to come to na customs, and then that's what they use for either further assess by uplifting. Uplifting means we go say to ourselves, say, waiting they don't put on that CVC, we not believe in the right amount than they. So therefore, we open the container and do 100% examination. And most of the times, when we can do that, the value they go up. Waiting we realize over time in the beginning of the year that people them, they collude, be it our staff, importers, or the agents that they work with, that they play with that document, that they forge them. So when the document come on as ITS, if not 20,000 it gets, by the time they reach to it, they don't doctor them. It become either 15 or 10. Now that we realize, now for that we say, and there was a press release to that effect, that going forward, the CVC where they come out to ITS, now would they use. And the one way we don't, measures them we don't put in place, we don't make ITS, don't give a window to their system. Before that, we not been get window to their system. So any document where the importer come, where the CVC, where the importer they come with, now we they take for use as the correct figure. But we realize, say, they be the forge them. So now, we don't tell them, say, that document where they bring come from ITS, that the original would they use, and with the interface with them, for make sure, say, that process will be seamless, who to not go, they go back and forth. So all this hue and cry, where we explain very explicitly. Now we press release where we pull out last week. Now for explain that importers them and business people they don't get this bad habit of forging, and that bad habits we want for stop, and for that everybody don't begin cry.
All challenges there we do explain on and find out say be they happen at the system, then leakages there, so people and conniving by the time we invoice and they reach to no receipts, the amounts don't count down.
Yes.
How many money governments be they lost by them?
Currently, we not get amount. Would they do the investigation? Because what thing we do when we realize that we don't begin the work with the private company where they do the valuation, where they get data from them and then compare them with what we get now with system. And soon we'll be able to come up with the value. But we know say government don't they lost money. And mind you, not just January. If we go back to previous years, we go see how much now the amount. But we do the investigation by comparing the data we then get now in system with waiting we self get now with system, or we pass through with system.
Issue now one we make last week said the traders them being locked in shops and say they not sell because according to them being getting impressions in a tax and or increase based on waiting you don't explain in terms of sustainability. This particular system we want to work with now, when they show the actual prices somebody for pay, for example, for a container where you want for clear down the key, how sustainable it be? Because we can see they can introduce certain things going down the line after 2-3 weeks, we go back to the normal.
Right. So now the problem, if you hear the cry and the protest, we not just grab and do them. Before we implement them, we get a meeting with the agents then, because now the agents them more they deal with customs. So like the importers them where the woman them where I see over the social media, not so then really they deal with we. Then get the middle people them. And what thing we do before we tell them say effective this particular day, we know they use the CVC, we know they bring come anymore. We sit down and we talk to them. And waiting and do them being that they play a wait and see game. Initially they hold all the containers them. And when they hold the containers them, I go tell one for free say we revenue go down because the import duty where they pay, it go down. So they hold on to all of the container where it begin cause congestion at the port. Because then it's okay, and I just like what you say, they can say, but they go back pedal. But waiting I do, I say no, we're not a back pedal. We make sure say, waiting we don't say they happen, it go happen. And for that press release, I put them out. Now the people them where I believe say, been go out there, the woman them, there's this thing where they call groupage. Unlike a business person, a well-established business importer, ain't go bring one container for himself. But the woman them, for the most part, because they're small, now for that we don't get this small office for them, for focus on them, they can bring things them together. So like we three go to China, we buy markets them, put them inside one container. But with that container they come, not so we name Kinde Panam. Now the person where they call middleman, now he can clear the container and in tin number can depend the container, and even the tax credits or the tax benefits. Now that person where in name they on the container, now in the benefits. So mind you, that woman them where they bring them business, they know the benefits. So I guess the middleman they don't go tell them say NRA don't increase price. What in do because we don't tell them say that amount that forge won't be the forge, it not they happen anymore. But for me, I'm willing and welcoming to the idea for me to begin sit down and talk. And that talk they don't begin even last week. When I've been there, the Minister of the Trade and me Deputy Commissioner General one, Mrs. Anne-Marie Adin, then sit down and they don't begin talk. So the conversation don't begin. So for me, me can always tell my kituman them, when anything they happen, not take them at the streets and begin they say, will they do this, will they lock shop? Because when you lock shop, you say, bend the suffer. Not only NRA, because when you open shop, they make money. And we know say a lot of the small business people, them when a woman them, now daily subsistence, so to speak. Because what's in they sell today, now they provide for the home them. So we are welcoming for continue for have that conversation, but I just want to make them clear to family them say, we not increase taxes, NRA not increase taxes. Now the loopholes them and the leakages them, we don't begin for lock and we go continue for lock them.
You still insist say NRA not increase tax, but if you go talk to the market woman now a batcher, we didn't do these pages because one person might not able for bring container, then they get the market them and take one container. The best thing it will tell you now that NRA don't increase tax. And normally during them period, they especially Ramadan time, they see rapid increase the day in prices, especially commodity them within the import come, think them for it. It can be very, very critical for get them. And we all know the current state of the economy. We mean say there is a gap between NRA and then trader there. In terms of orientation, what exactly we have been doing?
So what we do, and as I say, not so the woman them, not so that they deal with NRA or customs directly. Now the agents them with it clear. But what's in now we will begin for do, just like what I say last week, Minister of Trade and we now the NRA led by the Deputy Commissioner General 1, we meet. And we may suppose forget a follow-up meeting. And I think the best thing we go able we and help them now dialogue and education. And we will continue for dialogue and educate them and even perhaps come up with ideas them in the future how they go able even import them businesses and market them. We're not going to create a burden for them. But the best thing we will suggest and implement right now is for continue for dialogue with them.
During the 10 day we didn't trade that they are so being there on a protest, they lock their shop them. We talked to a few of them, more important them we go out there.
Okay.
One thing will come out now that there is over 100% increase on the container them. Now for clear 120 feet container, allegedly they say that 250 million euros. Work the math for a viewer, we don't understand exactly how have been come up to the money then.
So I go just want for bring you back for say, because they forge the document. That amount they will then show you so now being the amount from day one.
The 250 million.
250, whatever that amount is. Because as I say, by the time the document the worker come off from whose side they come originate, when are the private company where they do the valuation. By the time they come out worker cancel winner NRA, it don't change. They don't change the document. So and that's we consider and classify as leakage and all of the things and where we don't go on. So nothing not change. The only thing we change, we tell them say that document where they come on at the origin, now where they use. So now that's being that happened, not to increase. Not increase at all. And again, as I say, I'm willing for sit down with them, make I explain to them waiting be they happen and waiting now they happen and see how we move forward.
So is it that we can safely say corruption they happen down at the key? Because
absolutely.
Because of the way how transaction then be done they happen. So where on a go they get conversation with the one the way they work they. What's happen where actual document where somebody forgets, pay the actual price and not the pay where they make government the lost revenue. What's be the response when I get from the one the way they done they in terms of this corrupt practice where they done the powerless why?
Well, we not get any specific response. The only reaction and action is we get for stop them and we stop them and we don't stop them. And that's because all of this hue and cry. Open secrets, anybody where they deal with NRA, they always they get this complaint, say things they happen. We know say corruption they happen. And I remember, I don't know if I remember in late 2023, there was this issue with EcoBank. We say one person at EcoBank, where they work for EcoBank, run away with taxpayers' money in the tune of 30 million. billion at that time. I know say that person not done by himself. You know, I know say NRA staff them be involved. I know say the companies them where lost that money there, then staff them be involved. So corruption and then the leakages and more, not to one person they do it take a group of people. So we the NRA, now that we don't realize and say we they stop them. So if we staff them be involved, we they stop them. If other people them be involved, we don't stop them. And the market woman them, I can understand what they go through because, as I said, not so that they deal with NRA directly, now they agents them. So apparently, the agents them, they don't they lie to them. So now we they correct all of the things and the bad practices them. If I for call on that, where don't they happen? And not only in a custom, not only customs, DTD, it happen there. NTR, also we get with non-tax revenue, where would they deal mostly with NDAs them. All of them leakages them we don't identify. We don't identify who say staff them, then supposed for make sure say they use the consolidated fund account for put money, but they use other accounts them. So the leakages and also customs no more. They all over the departments and we try for work and we work very much for stop them.
Madam Bangura, you agree with me say most government institution them, they call you come so now the National Revenue Authority for Ministry of Finance, you know the problems, you identify them, and you boastfully they say now this morning you don't fix the problem and you fix them. But certain term na government institution them, una the head they una can put measures for prevent corruption, leakages, especially na that wataki custom area. Popular opinion out there na that's now like a syndicate they work there. And NIA will command them, they all they work under this syndicate. Now you say you don't stop the leakages there, you don't put measure. How you go ensure say you sustain the measures there? They're not just be in a 1-2 months when they forget about them, they resume the syndicates back and when I begin lost they huge money them where when they lost because of the loopholes there where you say you don't close.
So the loopholes that we don't begin for close, we don't identify them and we don't begin for close. And anytime we will touch one, when I go hear the noise. We don't touch the CVC, noise don't come out. We touch other areas then. And when I will expect, and I definitely expect the noise for come. You're very much right. What's in the app in Wataki? Wataki, we get many port users then. So not to NRA no more did and but the unfortunate part of it is because now we get, I then can say John Brigade, anything we can happen, then say na NRA. But not so like where Bolori increase the fee, then say na NRA. Where other things that they happen at the port, then say na NRA. But there are certain activities them, like the CVC who I don't tell you, and then the reconciliation of the bank payments with system to the bank, then they under we own control entirely. You know, they take a collaboration with other people then. So I want to give firm with them the assurance say, when we don't begin work for block and close down leakages then they will go continue on. Everything we're there within our control. Because like the CVC, now we they manage them. We come for reconcile for make sure say the payments where they don't make now what's a key or DTD or NTR for making gonna the consolidated fund, it's within our purview. So we don't need for work with other people then for make that happen. So the concern and the point where you don't raise, we're very valid. We can gap with things them as a government or as institutions and say, will they stop this? But then something can happen because also we know what they do. We they work with other people them and then they go either give we the run around, we go make we tire, or they not go cooperate. But these particular measures and we don't identify, they are within our purview entirely.
So how do they bring the middleman them on board? Because if they're not there on board, for let they able to communicate back to the markets woman them when they sell, when then they complain right now, they're not going to reach a point where they go discourage and some of them stop for the business where government safe, they have hopes in that business where they do, then they use for raise revenue.
So every stakeholder in this process is important. The middleman, the agents them and the market woman them we mostly will not the interface with, but now important for make we interface with. So you know then gets them the associations them, you know, we don't begin to engage with them and we don't begin for engage with other stakeholders then for just make sure say first of all they need for understand say there's no new taxes because of the misinformation down the way they give. NRA don't increase tax per we, or this don't happen. So the conversation therefore begin by making sure say we all understand we positions them. But as you rightly say, bringing the middle people in, or the middleman them, is very important, and they are front and center, and we go make sure say they are part of the discussion and conversation.
With all the leakages there, will you believe say you don't block and you start the year on a bumpy ride? Now that you don't put measures in place, the thing they will be make NRA they lost money, hopefully on not go loss again. How optimistic you are for hit your target for 2025?
Yeah. So so the target for 2025 na 18.9 billion. And as I say, na 30% more than waiting we begin in for 2024. And as I say, we start bumpy only because na compliance. Even towards the end of the year, we don't make fun, but they know say we not get new taxes, but na compliance. And compliance means say you file on time, you pay on time, and then you make sure say everything else what you need for you do them on time. But then that's one side, and then the other side, just like what you talk about the measures, and I just want for make fun with and know say we just don't begin for implement the measures them. They're not whole yet, and it will take time for me to hold. And I know say for every measure, especially then the measures that more will get for implement, we get for interface with outsiders them, because we get both measures, we get measures that more will get for do within we institution, and then they will get measures and what we get for do with partners them outside of the institution, like the businesswoman they more don't mention. But I'm very optimistic that we will meet and surpass with targets for 2025. The reason why that is important, not only to NRA but to the country, because we get other activities them, like for example the IMF programs, then depend on making sure that we meet and surpass with target, and not towards the end of the year, now, because they judge we on a monthly, quarterly basis. So I'm very much optimistic, and I call on the entire country for making genuine, because when it comes to tax revenue mobilization, not to just NRA in job, everybody within the space is important that for make them join the NDAs and all they work with the business people them and other stakeholders them, because when we bring in the money, that money that the governments they use for provide the services them we will need, whether not for road, whether not for school, and whether not for any other thing. So me I invite everybody for me to join NRA for make sure say we make sure say these measures hold. Where you see something, you bring the attention of the NRA. Where you go by, they not give you GST receipt. Important that you ask for your GST receipt, because if you not get your GST receipt, the GST where they pay, they reach the government.
Talking about the GST, now one other area than the way NRA don't they get serious challenge with for business people and they bypass the system.
Yes.
Business people can give them your receipt, failing for give the NRA their receipt. And even some business system, then they give the NRA receipt, but the money then they not can reach to now. Now that you're on a journey for block all the unnecessary leakages, the way they be a stumbling block, not for hit to not target them. What are you focus on that area there?
So the ECR machine are number one corrective measure on we 21 measures them, because we know how much we go able make and get if we get GST right. In other countries, then 40% of the revenue where they bring come in from the goods and services tax. For we still the struggle, since we don't automate the collection of GST. We get problems then with the machine. We get people then when they use the machine. We get people then when they use they use them regularly. As recent as yesterday, I get a staff we go na Usum hotel na Makeni for go spend the next day. Ask for GST receipt. They not get GST receipt. He asks the guy waiting to. He said, well, we only give something and they will not give something in there. All of that now in violation. So we make sure say taxpayer education. When it comes to GST, looking at other alternative systems them. Because not only the calculator, we have other systems that we will use. We've been there Rwanda in December. We go on the 8th annual meetings, and I engage with the CG for Rwanda. Then get this system where then they use when I e-invoicing, where they make things a little bit easier for taxpayers and when it comes to GST collection. So we're looking at different alternatives them. But what we get right now are the ECR machines, and we work for make sure say they are effective. One of the things then where we get on the action point now for change the staff them around. So all the staff them will get now the ECR unit. We don't transfer all of them for bring in a new fresh of people them for make sure say we get the system right. But we are working both internally and externally for make sure say the ECR machine and the collection of GST where we don't automate improve. So as I say, the number one corrective measure na ECR and the improvement of how to see how we go get on different and better.
We don't they see big businesses them, we get big names them in this country. They owe NRA plenty money. They get for take NRA the bold step for go and close them business center them before them pay them money there. So how come NRA can sit until they own this huge amount of money, then businesses they are still they operate, then they run. Rather, una they wait stay pass una go for go close them, and as soon as una go close them, and they won't go pay una money back. Women say systems not they in that area.
So we get systems them for make sure say we keep track, because now we get a system where they keep track. Otherwise, we're not going to know how much they owe we. Now, for the way the year can end, we they give like this year in 2024, like every other year, with the year end, we review all the arrears them from the previous year and send them over to submit them to the Accountant General's office when I in the Auditor General they use during the year for do the audits. So we get systems them in place for keep track. What thing we get for do better and improve on is to make sure say payments are done on a timely basis, and this is where compliance improvements, what I've been talking about earlier, is important, because compliance not just mean you file. When you file, you also get for make sure say you pay in time, on time, and you pay fully on time. Otherwise, if you not pay on time, we get late charges them, we get levied, and then we get penalties them. So what did we do in 2025 Finance Act? Although we're not bringing new taxes, but we put in new measures, punitive measures, and we increase the penalties them for late filing, late payment, and non-filing, for just discourage what you just explained. We say if you file, you're supposed to pay on time and in full, but if you don't pay, we don't put in hefty fines them for make them more punitive, for discourage the late and late payment.
Addressing some of them challenge here, how the authority they utilize digitalization.
Yeah, so digitalization are the way forward if we want for really control the leakages them and the collusion where I don't talk about. Because when you digitize a system fully, you they remove that middle person. You they remove we staff them, they staff them within at the transit banks them, we they remove everybody in and the money. And we don't begin this digitalization since 2018. But we all get for no say the process now ongoing, because things are constantly adding. One of the things that we don't do effective February 1, with taxpayers, them importers, them need for know and need for comply and abide. We don't interface the system Asikuda World with ITAS. So when you come as an importer, you can pay you import duty, import GST, when an advance tax. That money they go sit down and wait for you na ITAS. In the past, part of the leakages and what they talk about, we not be know how they be happen. Once you pay, we they assume say, or they assume say you don't pay. When the time come for go file na ITAS, we they assume say because you don't pay, it don't come na ITAS and you they deduct them. But we don't even get record of that if we don't pay or if we get them at the consolidated fund. So the integration between them two systems in there don't make them seamless with the city, with they follow the money. So when you pay them na ITAS, it go when you pay them na Asikuda World, it go sit down na ITAS and wait for you. When the time come for file at the end of the month, the money go there and you go utilize them. And we don't tell the importers them we get credit. Because we're thinking happen at the end of the time, they can say, we don't pay, but we don't use them. And therefore, it becomes a credit. We don't give them a deadline. We give them up to the end of March for make them use all the credits them we didn't come with from the previous year. Otherwise, they forfeit them because we start a new page. So for answer your question, digitalization of the system it will solve 90% of all of the challenges them we would face. And the reason why 10% are put aside, the small businesses, the more they deal with, especially our women, we know say they're not going to be able to catch up with digitalization anytime soon. So now for that, even where it comes for clearance, now the border crossings, them where you go Balamoya and Lunge, where they do simplified declaration because we remember them. Yeah, we also they not get computer, we don't get smartphone for use the Asikuda system as we have it. So we don't implement a simplified way of how they for declare the goods them we come na Balamoya or we come na Lunge Airport. But digitalization is the future for tax administration.
As you don't assure the public when they watch you this morning, say, on a really focus on digitalizing on a system then, how you would describe the area of ensuring when I get a cashless system, way for make no NRA workman na that custom touch anything we get for that money.
So I know say you get experience of cashless systems where you can travel for go out, whereby then even notice will not they touch the money. If you not get your bank card, you know they get service, you know they able get what's in call. That is the future. But in order start with we workman them, NRA workman them. It get for start and the importers and businesses then get for lead that because I then get for use that service. We don't begin ITAS. Again, I want for just come back quickly to that 30 billion we will lose through EcoBank. The reason waiting make that happen, and it's still happen, because taxpayers they know they use we system. When you don't use we system, when you don't file through ITAS, you they create problem for you as a taxpayer, and you they create problem for we as the tax collector. Because if you go out of the system, all that transaction we they do, you know they go through a system, and therefore it is prone to they create a system whereby they go thief you money. For make I just put them locally, because if you not go through a system, we don't get record of them, and they connive because they connive out there. People that they thief the money. So for make them cashless, we are on our way to making the system cashless, but it's going to take a collaboration between us and the stakeholders. Then who would they deal with? Who are our valued taxpayers?
All right, continue for the between the program. In case you just tune in name na Jeneba Bangura, in the Commissioner General for the National Revenue Authority. A day with you this morning, it don't give an update on OSI it meets the National Revenue Authority, and it also don't give updates on the measures them where it say it don't put in place for ensure say it lock all the leakages them where it say they na NIA, and of course this go up for tap the plenty corruption we can happen no they make government lost plenty couple. The program we still watch and the breakfast show live na Liberty TV. We still get the Commissioner General for the National Revenue Authority. But quickly we take this break and join with partner them for adverts.
Orange Maxit, the super app will bring comfort and control now you on. With Orange Maxit, do all your transaction and fast and safe. Whether not for send money to family, party or workmates, this transfer quick. You want recharge, buy top up and data in just few seconds. Get daily, weekly and monthly package them with just one tap. Stay in control with quick balance check and instantly manage your finances well. Whether now you top up, data or transaction history you want, all day in one place. If you mistake, no worry, you fit reverse them instantly. Visit the marketplace now Maxit and buy the latest in them, tickets to the biggest events them, and even play games. All this day now you want. Do all your transaction them easy. Pay merchants, pay bills, transfer money from bank to wallets, and cash out all now one app with safe. Easy. Search Maxit now Google Play and iOS App Store. Download, install, and then register with your number and password. Open Maxit and see how it is simplify your life. Download Maxit today and get comfort now your fingertips.
Ready for more options? The UVA Digital Experience. Same features on a bigger screen, same login on any device. Send money, pay bills, top up airtime and data. Manage all your accounts. Switch up the look. Save for your goals. Get insights on your accounts, schedule upcoming payments, and more. Visit internetbanking.ubagroup.com to get started.
All right, welcome back. You still watch the Breakfast on Liberty TV, and members, you say for the watch. We don't see the questions they want to ask. When I continue to ask the questions, make una comment them regarding what we discussed this morning. We will go for take them questions and the Commissioner General and NRA will definitely respond to the questions that we don't ask currently as we discuss on how then they work on NRA for ensure so they're able to generate enough revenue for government. And we don't highlight some of the challenges them where we don't get the leakages them where they don't block. Make some market woman and they feel say na new tax them they don't introduce according to the Commissioner General. They not introduce no new tax yet, but then just they block the leakages them where then they don't fair not say they make government not able to get better revenue. As we continue the conversation, Madam Bangura, one big question we go kind of somebody in mind is in as much as I don't identify the leakages here, so there is a problem because the people them way na the middleman them where most of them traders they work for still they now the system they do waiting and be done they do for them middlemania. Is there any way government they think of perhaps an initiative where we're not going for handle for them where one person not going for clear container but we're not go put a system outside then go utilize them but government go raise the revenue and then self do them business without all the complaints we really get now. Wanna get plan like that?
Yes, so now part of the discussion, and that discussion we don't begin a way back. When I've been the Deputy Commissioner General, you know, where we implement the ECR, there was a lot of pushback. And I able to engage the Importers Association, and they are my friends. It's a great community where they work with, for really understand how we go against this groupage issue. You know, because they impact mostly women. Yeah, and these are small businesses. So we look at different alternatives. We even want to see how other countries, because this particular issue is not particular to we. You know, other countries they go through the same thing. So we want to look at other countries, the neighboring countries in the ECOWAS region, or even the Mano River Union, for see how then they do them, and then how we go do them better, because it is painstaking, because you know they affect Mandem, because Mandem gets enough resources for bring containers them on their own. But a woman businesses them mostly. So just like what I say, when we begin the dialogue, first I therefore explain and make we all understand, say, not a new money, not a new tax, not a new fees. Only that we want to make sure say the bad habits we don't be the happen. We want to stop them and control them, and we will see how we will move forward from there. But we need for kick the can down the road, because we don't do them for a very long time. These things come up, but we're not solve them. It quietly die down, and then it becomes business as usual. But this particular time around, it is my aspiration, and we all go work as a team for make sure say we solve these problems once and for all.
What's the greatest challenge for working an institution where government rely on for generate revenue?
The greatest challenge is, well, there's no one challenge. The challenges are many. And normally, what I can tell people, them, you know, what they make and they come work every day is the fact that there's never a dull moment. You know, if I am not dealing with importers, I'm dealing with, you know, international partners, or they deal with other taxpayers, or they deal with the staff, or they deal with leadership. So the greatest challenge really where they face now the compliance improvement. I mean, we large taxpayer them where really now they pay 80% of the revenue where they come in. When it comes to compliance, it is important that at least, if not 100%, at least 99% of them file and pay on time. So it is compliance improvement where we work on for make sure say everybody was supposed to pay tax, pay on time. And then when they pay, make sure say they pay into the right account so it will get to government. So the biggest challenge right now is to make sure say anything we're supposed to come to government on time and in full, so you're not going to make a way out of the system.
You get plenty messages when they wait for you, but before we can to the messages, they'll talk about something we wanna call the Cape Town task, and also brief highlights on the speech.
Okay, so yeah, so I've been there Cape Town last week, and you know, in celebration of International Women's Day, the ATAF Women in Tax Network where Namina, the vice chairperson, go represent the women of Sierra Leone in taxation. And basically, we just focus on how we go improve the leadership potential and leadership positions them for women in tax in Africa. And we get specialized areas them where they really fan boku woman them for many reasons, because we women in something in the we know want for take the bold challenge and bold step forward. We get like the ICT department, they see women and they know more. We get units them like transfer pricing. We get for do mostly with the mining companies them. We not get boku woman in there. So there are other areas them we will not get boku woman in there. So what in this campaign they do is for we as leaders of tax administration for give opportunity to the right woman them, not to just any woman. Because most times people then can say, okay, they promote woman become a woman. No, it get for be the right woman, we get the right skill, we get the right attitude. For make sure say it take the position seriously. So basically in the continent, we want for just make sure say we get more women them involved in tax administration, because there is a research which say if you get women, they lead, because women are less prone to corruption. And women them we know how for make sure say we bio the taxpayers them for make we able get the money. I mean, we been get some tax institution them na the conference we talk say where it can to compliance improvement. Now woman then gets because they make sure say the woman lead them, because they know say the woman know how to talk to taxpayer. Where it can for debt management or debt collection. Now woman them. So we don't tell them say make we go beyond that. Make we go beyond the usual woman role and give challenge and opportunity to women. But it was a great conference, and we combined the conference with country correspondence meeting for ATAF, where the correspondents and like ambassadors them for we countries them. So we combined in two meetings in there, and it was very successful, and I was very pleased to represent Sierra Leone and NRA.
All right, continue for the week. We'll just try for take some messages them where the viewers they don't send, they you go respond to the messages, then they will continue with the conversation we will get this morning. The first one they come out from Fodi Mustafa Touré on Facebook. They say, can you please tell us how much we are collecting on air travel tickets to Salone before Suma took over operation? How much are you getting from Suma today? Please help us with the information, because I was told only NIA can give this information.
We look at more messages that I read from the YouTube channel. The very first one I go look at, Mohammed Bangura said the payment of taxes is essential for the development of a nation, but at present we need more investors to increase tax payment. I think the government is presently doing domestic financing.
Musfred Kamara on Facebook, they say, what is the total amount collected so far from the Financial Act effect of the 5% on rise importation? Is the 5% on rise ring-fenced?
All right, more messages. This other one said domestic financing is the only solution for now. Public-private partnership are not working well to address the problems. We pray for God's blessing to save our economy.
This one, they say, Salone is the only country in the world where customs and excise duty is the main revenue source for government instead of taxes from jobs. No wonder prices are out of control, because the same goods are taxed repeatedly until GST.
Randy Prince Charles said the customs department is one of the most corrupt departments at the key. To clear a car sometimes is even more expensive than the price of the car itself. Can't the NRA have a system wherein the prices of these goods are printed broadly rather than imposing those corrupt agents at the key?
This one, they say the other issue of concern from the public is the diversion of NIA funds into dubious bank accounts for personal use instead of it flowing into the national revenue for income development. What are the strategies have you put in place to address these syndicates between certain NIA employees and certain commercial banks employees?
Baba Ahmed Mansare say, good morning, Liberty TV. Kindly ask the commissioner how can petty traders pay almost $12,000 NRA fee for goods that are $25,000 in 20-feet container. Then it is a minimal percentage of taxes on goods, because other countries' taxes are 19%, no matter the value of the goods. This is killing our market.
All right, plenty messages. This one, they say the NIA previously had a project to construct affordable housing for residents in the metropolitan. Do you still plan to deliver this project?
This other one again at the Facebook page, you say, is it that the new national switch launched by the Central Bank be used in your digital drive to bring transparency and accountability of NRA funds?
Mohamed Kanu, they say the commissioner must find ways in having meetings with grouping business people and discuss with them and see how government will intervene in helping those young joint business partners in clearing their containers for them with an alternative cost that will encourage more young business owners to involve in joint shipping.
Samuel Wise say, Madam NRA, majority of your staffs at custom are clearing agents and are doing so by undervaluing their clients to the determinants of the country and also taking jobs from the legally registered clearing agents.
All right, this other one, they say, Madam Bangura, the cost is too much. I think NIA should revisit its couple up with the payment of CTN, which is of no value to the shipper. In the end, users continue to cry.
Jibril Bangura, now the YouTube channel, is say, how asks for simple explanation for leakages and blockages in a financial system contributed to a significant increase in taxes, resulting in unusual situation.
All right, so many messages. We apologize if we not read your message. We come back to Madam Bangura for a go attempt for answer some of our questions.
I want to say thank you to the listeners them, and I really appreciate, because this just shows they put value to the discussion what they get, and then the inputs them, what did they make, and the questions are very thought-provoking, and a lot of them I'm going to take back home for see how we go improve or implement. I want to start with customs because we get a lot of questions, them concerns and comments pertaining to customs. One thing I want to say for sure, we get this caller, we say, that Salon are the only country where majority of the revenue they raise come off from customs. I want to clarify that. The reason for customs being is really more of trade facilitation. The money what they collect from customs is between 10 to 15% of the total revenue, because now trade facilitation more customs therefore. So I want to just clarify, say, we know they get more than, as within the caller say, that around the, we know more they collect more from customs. Customs is more of trade facilitation. The issue about the clearing and forwarding, custom officers them also serving as clearing and forwarding agencies. What we have done is, especially for this year, and if Family and they follow the social media, me and the clearing and forwarding agents then get an association. Now they work together as much as the NIA, they regulate the clearing and forwarding agents, but then get an association where anybody where they come to NRA for can apply, they go through that association. Then they pay their monthly fees and then gets their other arrangements then we then get. So that association, now the middle person between the NRA and the agents them. So anybody, I don't make them clear in 2025 and I delay the application process because of that. Anybody where they come for can clear, for can apply for certificates, that association get for certified for saying a part of the association, and where they give me the assurance not to NRA staff. Because that accusation, this comment with this person you sent, I don't hear you. It's always out there that NRA agents and customs agents them also they double as clearing and forwarding agents, and that's the reason why things are expensive. But I they rely on the association for clearing and forwarding agents for give me the assurance, say anybody whether they put forth as a member not gets any association with customs and or NRA. So I just want to make that clear. Somebody call and ask about affordable housing. This is not the first time this what they say NRA don't engage or begin for build make development for affordable housing. Me no say NRA we want for build with revenue hosts. We don't get a land now Wilkinson Road, and we don't sign a contract. Now the only infrastructure development we me know say NRA they undertake. We not they undertake any development infrastructure for affordable housing. We say NRA they build and rent to people that we're not able to afford for get rental. Me don't know about that. I want to come to Mr. Fode because Mr. Fode na the first comment we wanna read we ask about SUMA. I go get back to Mr. Fode through one medium with the question we ask how much na been the ticket price where will be the collect and how much SUMA they pay now. I get for come back to una on that. When it comes to the reinstallation of the 5% on import duty for rest, one that amount there, the Ministry of Finance they ring fence for the agriculture project for feeds alone. And the amount where we collect last year in 2024 for that particular tax handle na 7.1 billion, but billion leons. But Fambo then get for members say we're not able configure with system for make sure say we begin capture that amount there until sometime in March. So with the hope say in 2025 we go get the full realization of the collection for that particular tax handle. Somebody mentioned the national switch, and you've been talking about cashless economy and cashless transaction. The national switch is going to help taxpayers and it's going to help us greatly when it comes to collecting taxes. And even every time I can meet with the governor, it can encourage me and say, you know, CG, when we work as a team, you will give a discount to your taxpayers then for using the system. Tell them, say, if you pay your taxes through using the national switch, we'll give you a 1%, 2% discount for help facilitate. So that's one way we go able to use a cashless system for make sure so we collect with taxes on time. The diversion of funds, I don't mention them, you know, the experience we'll be get in 2023. And just mind you, listeners, now one incident we will catch. We could just imagine what's in the happen, we'll not able to catch. The leakage is them. So what's in we don't do, and that's part of the measures, the 21 measures, we get for now be more vigilant when it comes to the reconciliation between we, NRA, the transit banks, them, the central bank, and then the accountant general. So now one of the revenue measures that we don't put in place, because we know that there's a lot of conniving, collaboration, collusion where they happen between we staff them, the business people them, and then the people them where they work at the bank. I don't know if I don't cover everything that's right for.
Ask why when I not get like a board with the display prices like for clear vehicles, container web income goods and services and all that.
Just like what I talk about the practices and the bad practices, then we don't get all this while. This is not something we don't come up many times. And we travel, the last time I go Zambia, as you reach now the airport, you see a big board, you know, of all the rates them and the fees them where you're supposed to pay. That is something where we don't drop the ball on, and I will make sure say I make them a priority. But also the first send this don't come up. You know, and that's all part of the accountability and transparency. Because if you get the display, you know, you're not gonna be a guess game. You know, every time when somebody come for can clear, the rates then they change. But if it's pasted on the board, it will be, you know, very clear and very transparent. But also the first time this don't come up, and I will make sure say I make a priority out of that.
So before the EC done,
Absolutely.
strategic places.
Absolutely. Now customs, definitely, because that's where we need it. You know, we go get some customs and then maybe at the airport and customs. Because me, while it's traveling at the airport, I can see them mostly. You know, so definitely in the strategic places, then we'll go get some there. Somebody talk about having more investors. You know, the government, now for that, we get this, the MTRS, you know, the medium-term revenue strategy make the investment space more business friendly and make things more predictable. And even our Finance Act, we get a lot of Finance Act them with a give concession for just make it inviting for business people them, because we need more credible investors them. The more businesses them we will get where they thrive, the more taxes them we will get in our system.
That part of the leakage then where you and your team they block. Una aware also of containers where people can carry it out and they clear them, but they're not they declare at all to customs and none of they get the records.
I don't hear it. That's part of our, again, if you look at the measures that we don't put in place, there are allegations of flyover, then call them flyover. Where the container they come, we don't get an our system, then it can come out. But again, this is where the collaboration, because not to customs no more. You know, where the container come na bolori, where the container they come na bolori they receive them. Where the container they come out, na bolori they release them, because we get this document we call release order. So if they not get them, they're not going to release them. So it takes that collaborate, that what you been call themselves, the syndicate, because it takes a whole lot of other operations for make that day happen. But we get that day as one of the measures them where would they look into, because normally when there's an allegation of flyover, it takes a collaboration between NRA and ports for do the investigation. But me believe say NRA should be leading that investigation.
You know, in the time with the Public Accounts Committee, they do the hearing from the audit reports. Now, some of the things then this way stand out. The parallel structures for bypass NRA where they exist na the ports. Now one of the things then this way now be major highlight in the hearing then day, and the deputy speaker when the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee be really lay emphasis on some of the areas then they, and I'm sure you're aware of the issues there. Now that you're on a journey for block all leakages and try to reduce the corruption, how you go penetrate on that area there?
So that's where again the collaboration is going to be necessary, because for MEC, as I've been talked earlier, some of the measures then they within we own control. Now for that, I just know and I get a strong conviction say we go able to make sure say it all water. But then there are other issues out there where it take collaboration. And I'm glad where you don't mention the deputy speaker of parliament. Not only is he the PAC chair, but it lead the effort for make sure say we able improve on our revenue drive. Yesterday, and besides taxes, because normally when they talk about revenue, they focus on the taxes and customs and DTD, but then there are
big money.
Yeah, but then we also get big money in other areas and the concessions. Them government they sign contracts, like for example the CRSG. We've been getting meeting yesterday with the speaker, where government we don't sign this agreement and contract with CRSG for the toll gate, and government supposed to get concession, gets annual fees them, when it go add up to a lot of money, and we have not been getting that money. So what's in the speaker do, it bring we all come together. So for making changes that may happen, like where you don't mention, so what's in the happen now the port, NRA gets their own for due, port get their own for due, others then get their own for due. So make we able to change the system holistically, it need for take all of we, a whole of government, for make we sit down first of all and determine amongst ourselves say we want change. NRA go change. But if other players at the port not change, the lives and the businesses then where they happen doing that, it not gonna be any different. It not gonna be okay for NRA on the NRA side, but it not gonna be okay on the other side. So it's going to really take for we all for make we sit down around the table. As we sit down around the table for talk to the businesses, we serve as government players them. We need for sit down around the table for make we able to talk to we said. First identify what side the challenges are, what side the bottleneck there, and who is responsible for what. So we're able to fix them. But you're very right. It's going to take all of us to get this done.
Talk so much about collaboration. You not just to take the NRA alone. In terms of cooperation, genuinely, how much cooperation you they get from the other institution for support you in this drive?
So it takes engagement. What did I do about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago? I don't begin. So when the year started, I started by engaging stakeholders outside of my space. I meet with the banks, them. We're very important to the leakages and we'll talk about. I meet with other taxpayers, then we meet with the large taxpayer, the medium taxpayer, and the small one, them, for just introduce the new Finance Act to them and for tell them, say, and impress upon them, say, we don't get new taxes. So after that, I don't begin the talk now, engage with the MD. With. Like, for example, PRA, we they work very closely with PRA because petroleum excise now one major tax handle na customs, and PRA now they regulate the OMCs them who they work with. So we meet with them, we identify some of the challenges them, and we don't agree how we go able to continue for work as a team for make then one them within that space they make life easier for them. We have the OMCs, we have the NPs, we have the Maladors and others where they work in that space there. And not only the OMCs, we also touched on the mining companies then where they get concession. Now, mind you, the mining companies then where they get concession, they know they pay excise. But there is this allegation, and we don't begin to catch one or two because when they mark the field them, then they get the mining, they get the field and where they know they pay tax. But they take them and put them back into the market and sell them for profit. We're not good for the country, it's not good for we revenue drive. So we don't begin to identify that, and we work with PRA. We also meet and discuss with the National Mining Agency, NMA, where we work with them when it comes to royalty and mining companies them. So for just answer your question, the collaboration, it's challenging, but me believe say as I continue for they engage with them and continue for give them the impression say the money where they collect, now NRA they collect them, but now you agency get them. Like SLRS say, they are part of the TSA. Now NRA they push for collect the money, but not the money. So we just they help them for collecting money. But the collaboration there is challenging because everybody gets your own idea and everybody can see NRA as intrusive. You do your own business, but we get the mandate, we get the law. Now we get the legal mandate for raise and collect and account for government money. But we will continue the collaboration.
So as to wrap up this edition of the breakfast show, whose message they left especially to the business people and we currently clear say they are not happy with the NRA?
So before I get to the businesses them, we currently not gladdy with the way things are going and we try for change the bad habits. I just want to remind we GST taxpayers the filing date. One of the changes then we will get in the Finance Act, we don't change the filing date for GST. In the previous years, the filing date has been the end of the month. You file the end of the month, you pay the end of the month. So normally it creates a lot of bottleneck for them and also for we. So we don't change that date. So filing date now for GST for the previous month. So like for example, where they file in March for you GST where you collect in February, you get for file before the 21st of this month. But then you get 9 days for review your document. We say go review it, you don't file, so you go pay at the end of the month. We not change the payment date, not just the filing date, and we'll continue for the educate and remind them. To the businesswoman them especially, they mean one for talk to because now I don't see social media where they don't get this misinformation and disinformation say we don't increase money pandem, we don't increase money. We don't begin the dialogue, we don't begin conversation. And I want to tell the Minister of Trade, thank you for taking the leadership, for making the ground soften for we. We will continue the conversation. We're not going to only talk to the woman, them, the business woman, them. We will also talk to the one them where they help them, when are the middle person or the agent the way they clear for them. For make we can sit down at the table and make we understand. But then get for accept say we not get new taxes. And then get for accept say then people then where they work for them or where them plant work for them, maybe they do wrong. They forge documents. And whether they forge documents, now governments they suffer. And then same one they pass and say, NIA they do them work. So NRA don't determine now for do it work, and we do them in collaboration and in support with them. But we go make sure say we provide the environment for make us listen to them and make we all make sure say we do on the same table and agree for improve the system and make them better for them. But are always there, for support them, and we'll continue for educate them. Even after the meeting going forward, we'll continue for work with them. So I want to tell them thank you for their patience, and we will meet with them very soon.
All right, many thanks. Jeneba Bangura, Commissioner General, National Revenue Authority, we join with this morning for educate the public on the different revenue system where you and your team they use for ensure say una generate revenue for government, and especially this year with the measures them we don't put in place for block all the leakages that will be making NRA they lost plenty copper, and according to I said in targets this year na 18.9 billion. Now then the NRA wants for gather this year for governments and go only able for gather if the measures they are so all water, and we hope say you measures them then go all water.
Absolutely, and we're going to come back for just update farm with them, on not only the progress but the challenges them.
All right. Well, now they end the breakfast show for today on edition. Princess Pierce now produced the edition of the breakfast show, and also Samuel Thomas, and then his camera, now then the technician, them Wiggy technical support. Bangura, they say, watch Liberty TV as this now your only digital platform, so they get you credible information, but different things them what they happen all over the country. Have a blessed day.
All right, until we meet again, Mabel Kabade say get a good day and goodbye. Thank you. You're welcome.
Develop city, then clean, all clean city, develop.
This is Yvonne Akisoya, Mayor of Freetown. And today, I want to talk to Freetonians about sanitation. We objective, transform Freetown, transforming lives. We not go able to achieve them if we all not join hands. Freetown City Council get role, but every Freetonian also get responsibility. Let me start first with the fact say FCC with the sweep 110 major streets every single morning from Monday to Saturday. But when we don't sweep the streets, if Freetonians then come and they continue for heap dirty in the street, in order to make the place look fine. Now make we get them litter bins them. The yellow bins we wanna go see around. So in the waka, you drink from your water bottle, your water plastic, you eat your packets on tin, not even a ground where you done. Make sure say you put on one of them bins then they. That litter bin they, in order for you host dirty. You know mean say if you pack you host dirty, you can pin her next to the bins them. Not to the idea that. Not give you host dirty to them one way the Allah say clean salon. No say that dirty way they collect now you host. In order for Karango, now the one of the two official sites. In order Karango Kisi Bome, in order Karango King Tom Bome. It turns so it left on the ground. And now we council get a problem, but you self get a problem. Because now front somebody else in Domot, your own dirty don't end up. So wait you for do with you host dirty. We get the one then a council when we don't certify. So then approved waste providers. Then they on tricycles, some of them they a vehicle. You will get host, you will get business, you in a hospital, institution, everybody for make sure say their waste collected by an approved FCC waste collector. We get the tricycle groups, we get the companies. So you go see them around. We engage with them on a regular basis. And wait till we go do now as we come into this new year. Now for make sure say FCC stand behind them for FU for no side and day and for let them self go to you so that we no go get that gap. When you eat dirty in a gutter, it end up na Lumley Beach, Toke Beach. All the tourism ambition where we get for the city, we lost that potential there. FCC, they spend boku money on dirty business. The fuel, the labor, the vehicle maintenance, the spare parts, the night operations, the illegal dump site clearing where we get for the do every now and then. all that boku money, I'm not going to say we're not going to spend anything, but we're going to reduce some. If Fritonians then do the right thing. Because we're not going to get for go clear illegal dump sites. We're not going to get for sweep as many streets and spend as long. So if we reduce that money we spend now on dirty business, we will able to put some on development. We all want for improving municipal schools. We want improving markets them. We want for let we see new developments at the city. That money we will use for dirty business. You and while we all make up we mind. Pay.
You are watching Liberty Online TV.